welcome to the free astrotheology course. Give me 1 second while I get myself together here. Make sure y'all like and share the video. I got to get my book out. Hold on. All right. I forgot to get my book out. It's about 6:30 in the morning here, y'all. I'm at a cafe near one of the places that I teach at in the morning. All right. So I'm ready to get started. We're going to continue with our course textbook, which is the Gospel and the Zodiac. All right, The Secret Truth About JC, the Christ Figure, by Bill Darlington. Here's the book. There's a lot of interest in this book. I'm very happy about that. A lot of people have asked me about this book. And y'all make sure when y'all get the book, y'all actually read it, okay? And we know how it is in North America. When people buy a book, right, many won't even crack it. A few, they skim through it, and then that's it. Or they may read the first chapter or so. But we have to improve our self-discipline. Okay? And the more you actually do it, the more routine it becomes. It becomes easy. It's no longer feeling like work. Okay, y'all? In fact, you start to look forward to it because your curiosity kicks in. It takes time, maybe even years. But that's one of the prices you have to pay for education. It is not free. You can believe that. Like Chief Warhorse said, somebody paid for it already. She's talking about on her channel, her and her guests, and which is why y'all should support. Anyway, shout out to Chief Warhorse. Subscribe to her channel at Cooking with Chief, Serving Up History. It's on YouTube. So y'all subscribe. All right, so let's continue where we were. I think we're on page, where are we? We're on page 32. So if you remember, we ended the last video in the last paragraph at the bottom of page 32, where the author showed the root word MSL, which is rendered rule, is often used in connection with the sun, moon, and stars. The sun to govern the day. The moon and the stars govern the night, end quote. Psalms 136, 8 and 9. Has says Daban, or Dobin rather, an ethical dimension, quote, which implies conscience and intelligent control of both self, that would mean conscious, intelligence, so that's superfluous, right? Consciousness is awareness, awareness is intelligence. You know what's going on around you. You are aware of self. So this is intelligence, or a form of intelligence. So the sun, the moon, the stars are aware of themselves, or itself, however you want to say it, and they have intelligence. And this has been proven by modern physics, right? Everybody should know this by now. Should not be new news. If it is, now you know. Everything has intelligence. Everything has consciousness in it. All right? Everything. Okay, now let's continue. So which implies this root word, this Ibaryath root, MSL, which is rendered rule, implies conscious and intelligent control of self and subjects, as well as leadership by example. So in other words, it's saying that this Ibaryath word, this root rather, implies that the stars, the moon, the planets can influence others. Oh, hear that? Now that's not Dr. Yasapa saying it. That's this scholar, Rabbi Joel C. Dobin, who says it. All right? Not me. I'm presenting you the information. Okay, so let's continue. Conscious and intelligent control of both self, that means itself. If it is a star, the star itself. The moon itself. If it is a planet, the planet itself. Okay? If it is a constellation, what have you, so now we're talking about what? Or let's talk about the whole system, the whole universe. Now we're talking about collective consciousness. Is that the all, y'all? Are you a part of the all? Which is precisely the type of rulership ascribed by astrologies to these heavenly bodies. Dobin, page 89. All right? So y'all can take that. For the naysayers, you can take it however you want it. Okay? So that's an etymological piece of evidence right there, right? So we've seen etymological evidence so far, architectural evidence, and we've seen art evidence, right? Attesting to astrology, astronomy, etc., etc., etc. In this book, The Forgotten Language of the Stars. And we've also seen mythological evidence. Okay? Now let's continue. This is philology, y'all. Put it all together. And it gives us a better understanding of what text actually means. All right? Okay, so let's, these are the kinds of techniques I'll apply when I translate the Book of the Law back into Ancient Ibaryath and modern English. Okay, I'll use these same or similar techniques. Okay? But the benefit is the analysis, all right? The benefit is the analysis. And of course, I'm going to pull or demonstrate, rather, natural law, the Hermetic Principles in the Constitution for the United States of North America, which applies to all state constitutions, right? Y'all see it? And also show the 7 laws or principles. Okay, and there's more I can do with that too, depending on the level of support that I get from the community of our people. All right. So if y'all want that, y'all want us to have our own Book of the Law, consider making a generous donation. PayPal.me PayPal.me / Zion Law School, okay? So support the project so we can get started with it. So I'm not going to begin until I start to get support, right? Otherwise, I'm not going to start a project and then not be able to finish it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm not going to suffer in order to do it. This should be a project that's done in a celebratory manner, not one of suffering, okay? Anyway, let's continue. I kind of got off track. But I wanted to re-emphasize this point in this video, okay? That is a key point. Now, why is it key? Because this contradicts what the prophet said. The prophet said that only capital G-O-D, well, let me repeat that. Capital G-O-D exclusively influences matters on the earth. There's no other power other than capital G-O-D, right? So this is what the prophets are saying. For example, Isaiah 47:13. All the counsel you have received has only worn you out. Let your astrologers, see, astrologers here appears to be what? In a religious context. Y'all hear? In a religious context. Let your astrologers come forward. Those stargazers who make predictions month by month. And y'all know that that's exactly how you know the end and the beginning of the year is coming. That's how you know when each season is coming, right? It's all predictable, like clockwork. Y'all know that, right? Let them save you from what is coming upon you. See, this is a religious concept right here, not science. Not science. Okay? Or maybe they're calling it divination because you're trying to see the future. Well, if you say that seeing the future is wrong, are you invested in the stock market? Because guess what? Their analysts are using statistics to see the future. Do you have a 401k or a retirement plan? Guess what? That you're contributing to? Guess what? They're predicting the future using statistics, political and social events, looking at which employees are moving from one company to the other. All of this is predicting the future. So you're involved in divination if you look at it like that. But my point is this: astrology that our ancient ancestors used was science, not an external deity. It was science, okay? In the same way where you use GPS, right? It predicts the best route for you to go. Is that this is ridiculous, right? You get on a plane. You go from San Francisco to London. Right? All of this, it predicts the weather. Okay, the route is predicted. How do you think that's done? By the stars. All navigation. You're on a cruise ship. How do you think it's going from one place to another? It's predicting the path based upon the stars. So is that divination? No, that's just the science. Does the location of the stars change? In other words, does the night sky, the celestial bodies in the night sky change? Of course they do. It's how you know what time of the year it is, what season it is. So at what point does this become ridiculous, y'all? But again, here in Isaiah, this is looking at astrologers as being what? Involved in some type of external deity worship, right? Seeking a deity to do something for you. That's not what astronomy that our ancient ancestors practiced, used as a science, was about. It was not seeking something from a deity. This is the Christian remix of it, to keep you away from it, to keep you away from that science. In fact, the Catholic Church made an all-out effort to completely remove science and engineering from the consciousness and from availability of the masses, but they failed. Why would they do that? Well, because they wanted to make natural law operate against you by keeping you outside of natural law and feeding you doctrine to enslave you forever, to destroy you as a man and as a woman, to lower you to the level of a beast, chattel slavery. That's why they did it. So wake up, y'all. All right? Wake up. To say that one who practices healing through using nature, i.e., oils, natural oils, and herbs or biology, to call that person a witch is an outrage and a lie. Otherwise, your beloved Dr. CB would be a wizard. Or the popular herbologist that y'all know of now, these people who y'all have so much respect for, going by Christianity's term, they would be wizards and witches. Whereas the so-called scientist who's taking molecules from nature and then trying to reproduce them artificially and then packaging and selling them to you with a patent, you call that science. You see how twisted your mind is? You're afraid to take an herb. Most of y'all are afraid to go out in a park and get a plant, a root, a leaf, whatever, to chew it or make a tea out of it, or to even cook it. Y'all are afraid to do it because you think you might get poisoned. But you'll run to the pharmacy or the grocery store and buy an artificial molecule branded as a medicine. And you've been brainwashed to think that that's your cure and that it's safe. And you go run to that even though you don't know nothing about it. Side effects, adverse reactions, you have no knowledge. Why? Because you are completely detached from nature. You are out of your mind. And the laws of nature are acting harshly against you, either financially or in your relationships with your heirs, friends, siblings, etc., etc., etc. Your life is a disaster, and probably your health is too. And so you pray more. You go to church or mosque more, synagogue more. But nothing ever seems to change, but things get worse. And if it does improve, it goes back down. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. And that's been the cycle of your entire life. Now, Dr. Yasapa, I am informing you as to why. If you have the courage to step up and disassociate yourself from all things and people that disconnect you from from nature, you go ahead and do it, man up. In fact, come to my class on Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Man up, woman up. If you can do that, show up. Otherwise, sit down. I'm not going to say what y'all know what I'm thinking, okay? There are passages in the Bible which certainly lead us to infer that the stars are meant to signal capital God's will. I'm going to say this one last time in this video. Capital God is Zeus, Apollo, all the major deities. Zeus, Dios, Dias. Jupiter, Apollo. The Tetragrammaton is all of them. And JC, the Christ figure. Why? Because it's the Trinity. Signals are also Odin and Woden, right? Capital, well, God is the modern spelling of Odin, and Woden, the Germanic deity. Okay, so you can replace capital God with Odin. You can replace it with Apollo. You can replace it with Zeus. You can replace it with any of these major deities. Okay? There are passages in the Bible which certainly lead us to infer that the stars are meant to signal Zeus's will, Odin's will. Odin, God is Odin, is Zeus, Apollo, etc. Okay? As I've shown, and it's no secret, God is also the dog star in Sirius. God backwards is God. Throw in another O is good. God is good. Odin is good. Zeus is good. Apollo is good. It is an inserted word, not in the original text. So if you have been misled on this most basic, fundamental fact, stop arguing about the scriptures. Stop debating it. Stop believing doctrines. Sit down and get educated right here with me. And stop making a fool of yourself. Arguing doctrine and listening to debates. They have no idea what the words mean. The debaters. And many of your Christian and Hebrew Israelite leaders, they have no idea about linguistics, etymology, philology, nothing. They're just talking. Most of them are looking for fame and fortune. And access to you and your heirs and your consort. Now that's a fact. In the first century, let me repeat that. In the first creation story, for example, we read that on the fourth creative day, capital God made the sun, moon, and stars, quote unquote, for signs and seasons. Y'all can check that at Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. The word translated as quote unquote signs is the Hebrew Oth. That's spelled O-W-T-H, which means something that points to something else. All right? Something that points to something else. And in this context, it certainly has an astrological dimension. Now, y'all should know that Genesis chapter 1 is an inserted text. from the Babylonian creation story. Now, if you have any clue about that history, you'll know that the Babylonians were what? Master astrologers. All of the ancients were master astrologers. So they're talking about the stars, the moon, and the sun. You know that that's astrology, but not deity worship. Science. Science. Science that could be used to build. Okay, so that would involve engineering. To create also involves engineering. This statement perceives the celestial bodies as instruments of divine providence, as messengers from capital God to man. Messengers, angels, angles. See a 360 degree, a circle, right? It has angles, right? 360 degrees. Angles, angels, messengers. I'm not saying anything profound. This is common knowledge. Except for our people, most don't know it. All right? So these angles of light, or angles, or cosmic energy coming to the earth at various angles carries information. Energy that can be used or that influences. All right? Now, can that be overcome? Obviously, it can be overcome. With what? With knowledge. With knowledge of the natural laws. With willpower. With imagination and intuition. Okay? Let's continue. The star which the Magi follow in order to find JC, that's Matthew chapter 2, go check it, is a clear example of this concept. Y'all remember the star that the Magi followed when they were looking for baby JC? Okay? It what? A sign is something that points to something else. All right? So the star pointed to where baby JC was located. Now we have a footnote for the Hebrew word oath, O-W-T-H. So let's go look at the footnote. We're on page 33, y'all. Oath, sign, mark, token, badge, standard, monument, memorial. I would highly suggest that you look at look these words up in your Black's Law Dictionary or other law dictionary, okay? Warning, omen, prodigy, symbol, miracle, miraculous sign, proof. There are approximately 80 occurrences of oath, O-W-T-H, that's the root word that is translated for signs and seasons, okay? There are 80 occurrences of oath in the Old Testament. Most of them have the flavor of the miraculous. Okay, we have a quote. Oath is an indicator or signal of something, end quote, according to the Hebrew Greek Study Bible published in 1986, E.D. Zodiac. Okay, so that's giving you the publisher. All right, the publisher's Chattanooga page 1577. Y'all go get the quote on page 33. Maybe there's a reason why this is on page 33, right? 33 is a Masonic number. And here's our subheading, the Zodiac in the Bible. All right? And that's probably the reason why it's on page 33. The subheading, the Zodiac in the Bible. Also, the etymological evidence that the stars exert energy and influence. I don't know if y'all can hear me, y'all. I have a signal saying that something went wrong with the signal. So we're going to stop right here. We'll begin again on page 33 at the subheading, the Zodiac in the Bible. If y'all want to support the project, my project to write the Book of the Law back in Ancient Ibaryath in modern English to restore everything that has been taken out or buried, hidden from you. If y'all want to support the project, feel free to use my PayPal, paypal.me/Zion Law School. It's something I really, really want to do. If you get angry because I'm doing the announcement, asking for support, well, just don't come back here. If you don't like it, don't come back, all right? Because I don't want you. If you don't want to support my work, I don't want you. Bye. Out. Okay? Period. You don't understand that nation building involves investment and cooperation? Get the hell out. You're a nigger. Islam to all the Moors, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean your mindset. Your mindset is in the gutter. Your mindset is in poverty and suffering because you were engineered to be that way, indoctrinated to not cooperate, to distrust people who look like you, to hate on people who are trying to help the masses of our people. That's why I said what you are, because that is what you are if that's what you're thinking and feeling. I'm just being honest with you, all right? So if you don't like the way it feels, stop being that way. You throw a rock into a pack of dogs, the one that cries is the one who got hit. All right? If you don't like me asking for support, don't come back here. Don't come back. I don't want you. You take that Christian mentality and that Negro, black, colored, Latino, etc. mentality, take it out. All right? I don't need you and I don't want you. But if you want to be a free people, if you want to break free from that which binds you physically and mentally, and to gain access to get into the blessings, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 14. If you want to get out of the court of the curses and into the blessings, you stay right with me. Learn what these documents say. Learn natural law and how to use it to improve your life and the life of your heirs and your friends. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Y'all go subscribe rather to Dr. Yasapa TV, my other channel on YouTube, because I'm getting away from this channel. All right? I'm going to be going live from other channels because this channel right here is shadow banned, extremely shadow banned. All right? So I want to get my message out. I want to help people. So y'all do that. I'm not in a position where I can do it. I need your support in sharing the video, liking the video, talking about the projects that I'm doing. Islam and Shalom.